Hi, this is Ridea keeping it real, and we are reading through the Bible using the Good News Bible. We're still on the Apocrypha, almost finished with it. We're on Second Ezra's chapter 7, and chapter 7 threw me for a loop. It really did, and I'm not even finished with chapter 7. We're halfway through chapter 7. We're actually on chapter 7, verse 102. So we are going to try to at least get through chapter 7 today. And maybe even this third vision that Ezra is having. So here we go. Ezra's chapter 7, verse 102. The finality of judgment and the salvation of the few. Then I said to the angel, Sir, please tell me whether the righteous will be able to ask God Most High to show mercy on the unrighteous on Judgment Day. Will fathers be able to pray for their children, children for parents, brothers for brothers, relatives for those near to them, and friends for those dear to them? I'll be happy to tell you, the angel replied. Judgment Day is final and sets the final seal on truth for all to see. You know that in this age, a father cannot send his son to be sick for him, or sleep, or eat, or be healed for him. An owner cannot send his slave to do these things for him, nor can a person send his best friend. In the same way, on that day, Judgment Day, no one will be able to pay or to pray for another person. Each person will receive the punishment or reward for his own sinfulness or righteousness. So each person will receive the punishment or the reward for his sinfulness or righteousness. If that is so, I answered, how can we explain what we find in the scriptures? Abraham prayed for the people of Sodom, and Moses for our ancestors who sinned in the desert. Later, Joshua prayed for the people of Israel in the time of Achan, and Samuel prayed for them in the days of Saul. David prayed at the time of the epidemic, and Solomon prayed for those who were going to worship in the temple. Elijah prayed for the people. Elijah prayed that the people might have rain and for a dead person to come back to life. Hezekiah prayed for the people during the time of Sennacherib, and there are many other examples. If righteous people prayed for unrighteous during such times, when corruption increased and injustice multiplied, why won't the same thing happen on Judgment Day? The present age is not the end of everything, the angel answered. Even in this age, the glorious presence of God is not always seen. That is why the strong have prayed for the weak during this age. But the judgment day will be the end of the present age and the beginning of the future age. So, judgment day will be the end of the present age and the beginning of the future age. Okay? Then all corruption will end. Self-indulgence and disloyalty will be eliminated. Righteousness and truth will reach their full maturity. So we know that righteousness is staying on the right path, on the path that's going to lead to you being able to get to this place of joy. So on Judgment Day, no one will be able to have mercy on those who have been condemned, and no one will be able to harm those who have been acquitted. It's like you're on trial. I answered, I made this point before, and I'll make it again. It would have been better if the earth had never produced Adam, or when it had done so, if it had made him so that he could not sin. What good is it for any of us to have life in the present age when it is full of misery and when all we can look forward to after death is punishment? Oh, Adam, what have you done? Your sin has not only your own downfall, was not only your own downfall, it was also the downfall of all of us who are your descendants. What good is it to us that we have the promise of immortal life when we have committed sins that condemn us to death? What good is the hope of eternity when we find ourselves in such completely hopeless situation? What good is it that safe and secure homes have been prepared for us in the future world when we have lived such wicked lives? What good is the promise that the glorious presence of God Most High will protect those who have lived pure lives when our own lives have been so full of sin? What good is it that paradise is shown to us, that it is imperishable fruit, that its imperishable fruit can heal us and provide all that we need? We can never go there because we have lived unacceptable lives. What good is it that the faces of those who practice self-control will shine more brightly than the stars when our own faces will be blacker than the night? Never in our whole lives, when we sin, did we think about what we would have to suffer after death. The angel replied, "Here is the meaning of the conflict that every person on earth must endure. If he is defeated, he must suffer the things you have just told me about. But if he is victorious, he will receive the rewards that I have mentioned." That is why Moses long ago urged the people to choose life so that they may live. But they did not believe him, or the prophets who came after him. And they did not believe me when I spoke to them. So the sadness over their destruction is nothing compared to the great joy over the salvation of those who believe. I answered, "Okay, sir, I know that God Most High is spoken of as merciful because he shows mercy to those who have not yet entered this world. He is called compassionate because he shows compassion to those who repent and obey his law. He is thought of as patient because he's patient with his own creatures who have sinned. He is known as generous because he prefers to give rather than to demand. And he is known as very forgiving because he continues to forgive sinners of the past, present, and future. If he did not continue to forgive, there would be no life for this world or the people in it. He is spoken of as pardoning because if it were not for his goodness in pardoning sinners, no one person in 10,000 would gain life. He is called the judge because he pardons and blots out the many sins of those who were created by his word. If he did not, only a handful of the whole human race would be left. The angel replied, "God Most High made this world for many people, but the future world for only a few." That is key. Ezra, let me give you an illustration. If you ask the earth, it will tell you that it produces a large amount of clay for pots, but only a small amount of gold dust. And that's the way it is with the present world. Many have been created, but only a few will be saved. Ezra prays for his people. I said to myself, I must search for wisdom and try to understand. I was brought into this world without my consent, and I will leave it against my will. God has given me only a few short years as my span of life. Then I prayed, O Lord above, permit me, your humble servant, to offer this prayer. Plant a seed within us and let it grow until it produces new hearts and minds, so that sinful humanity may have life. For you alone are God, and you created all of us, as the scripture says. You give life and provide arms and legs to the body formed in the womb, where it is kept safe in the elements of the fire and water. The body which you form is carried in the womb for 9 months, and you alone provide safety for protecting womb and the protected body. Then when the womb delivers what was created in it, your command produces milk from the breast of the human body. The infant you created is fed in this way for a while, and then you continue to provide your mercy. You raise the person on your righteousness, teach him your law, and discipline him with your wisdom. You are his creator, and as you wish, you can take away his life or allow him to live. But if you are so ready to destroy a person that was so carefully created at your command, why was he created in the first place? Now, Lord, I must say this. You may know what is best in regard to the rest of mankind, but I mourn for your own people. I am disturbed and grieved for your own nation, Israel, and the descendants of Jacob. So I want to pray for them and for myself, because I can see how all of us who live on this earth have failed. And I know that judgment will soon come upon us. So please hear me and listen to my prayer. The prayer that Ezra prayed before he was taken up into heaven begins here. He prayed this. O Lord, you live forever, and the honest heavens are yours. Your throne is more wonderful than anything you can imagine. Your glory surpasses our understanding. The heavenly army of angels stands trembling before you. They are ready to turn themselves into wind or fire at your command. Your word is everlastingly true. Your mighty commands accomplish fearful things. With one look, you dry up the deep oceans, and you can melt the mountains with your anger. Your truth lasts forever. O Lord, you created me, and I am your servant. So listen to my prayer, please. As long as I have life and understanding, I cannot keep silent. Do not take account of the sins of your people. Rather, consider those who have served you faithfully. Pay no attention to godless people and what they do, but take into account those who have kept your covenant in spite of all of their sufferings. Do not think about those who have lived wicked lives, but remember those who have gladly confessed you as God. Do not destroy your people because of those who have lived like animals, but be mindful of those who have taught your law in such a wonderful way. Do not be angry with those who you consider worse than animals, but show your love to those who have always trusted in your glorious presence. It is true that we and our ancestors have lived our lives in ways that bring death, but it is because of us who are sinners that you are called merciful. You will surely be called merciful. if you choose to take pity on us. We're sinners, and without any righteous deeds to our credit, those who are righteous will receive their reward on the basis of the many good works that they have stored up with you. What is man that you should be angry with him? What is this mortal race that you should be so bitter against it? To speak the truth, no person was ever born who did not sin. There is no one living who is not guilty. Therefore, Lord, your righteousness, goodness will certainly be made known when you show your mercy to those who have no treasure of good deeds. The Lord answered me, part of what you have said is correct, and things will happen as you have indicated. You can be sure that I will give no thought to those who have sinned or to their creation, death, judgment, or destruction. Instead, I will find joy. I will find my joy in the creation of the righteous, their earthly journey, their salvation, and their final reward. Things will happen just as I have said. The farmer plants many seeds and puts out many plants, but not all of them take root or come up at the right time. That's the way it is with this world. Not everyone who has been placed in this world will be saved. Then I said, please let me speak. The farmer's seed may not come up because you did not send rain at the right time, or it may be ruined by too much rain. But people are different. You formed them with your own hands. You created them to be like you, and you made everything for their benefit. How can you compare them to a farmer's seed? It's impossible, O Lord. Above, spare the people who are your own. Have pity on them. Show your mercy to the people you have created. He answered, the present is for those who live now, and the future for those who are to come. You are certainly not able to love what I have created more than I do. Never again consider yourself amongst the unrighteous, as you have done so often. Yet I am very pleased that you have shown proper humility and not boasted by thinking of yourself as righteous. The people of this world who have lived their lives in pride and arrogance will suffer many things in the last days. But Ezra, you should be thinking about the glory that is waiting for you and those like you. For all of you, paradise has been opened. The tree of life has been planted. The world to come has been made ready. All your needs have been provided. The heavenly city has been built. Full rest from your labors have been offered. Goodness and wisdom have been perfected. The source of evil has been sealed off so that it cannot reach you. All sickness has been removed. Death has been taken away. Hell is gone. And corruption has disappeared. All suffering has been taken away, and the treasures of immortality is at last revealed. So don't ask any more questions about the large number of people who are lost. For when they had the opportunity to choose, they despised God Most High, had contempt for his law, and refused to follow his ways. In addition, they mistreated the righteous servants of God. They even said to themselves that there is no God, although they knew that they must die. So the joys I have described are waiting for you, while thirst and torment are in store for them. But God Most High did not want anyone to perish. He created everyone and prepared life for everyone. But those he created dishonored the name of their Creator, were ungrateful to the one who offered them life. This is why the day on which I will judge them is near. I have made this known to you, and a few others like you, but not to everyone. The signs of the end. Almost finished with the third vision. I answered, Sir, you have shown me many signs, which you will perform in the last days. But you have not told me how I can know when this will happen. He answered, consider all these things very carefully. When you see that some of the signs I have told you about have appeared, you will know that the time has come when God Most High will bring judgment on the world He has created. There will be earthquakes, national rebellions, international intrigues, unstable leaders, and confused leaders. When you see these things happening, you will know that they are what God Most High has spoken about. The beginning and the end of everything that happens in this world are clear. The same is true of the world above. Wonders and miracles show the beginning of events, and mighty signs show when they end. Some people will escape destruction and be saved by their good works or by their faith. All of them will survive the dangers I have described and will enjoy the salvation provided in the land that I have set apart from eternity as my own. Then those who have ignored my ways and held them in contempt will be surprised when they find themselves in continual torment. This will include all those who ignored me while they were alive, even though they accepted the blessings I gave them. It will include all those who scorned my law during the time they were free to do so, all those who will refuse to repent when they had the chance. The torment they will have to suffer after death will force them to recognize the truth. Therefore, Ezra, you should stop asking questions about how the wicked will be punished. Instead, be concerned about how and when the righteous will be saved. The world was created for them and belongs to them. I said, I must repeat what I said before. The lost far outnumber those who are saved. It is like a wave compared to a drop of water. He answered, the seed to be planted depends on the soil. The color of the flower depends on the kind of flower. The quality of the product depends on the skill of the workman, and the size of the harvest depends on how hard the farmer has worked. Before I created the world or the people who would live in it, no one opposed me because no one existed. When I had created the world, I supplied it with an abundance of food and a law of profound wisdom. But the people I created lived corrupt lives. I looked at my world and I saw that it was ruined. I saw that my earth was in danger of being destroyed by the wicked plans of the people who had come into it. When I saw this, I found it very difficult to spare them. But I saved a few for myself, one grape out of a bunch, one tree out of a great forest. So let them perish, all those people were born only to be lost. But let my chosen people be kept safe, those for whom I work so hard to bring to perfection. And now, Ezra, you must wait 7 more days. Do not fast this time. Go to the field, wild flowers where no one has ever lived, and eat nothing but the flowers. Do not eat any meat or drink any wine. Pray the whole time to God Most High that I will come and talk with you again. Wow. This was the third vision. It will go down in the record book for me as something that I am grateful to have read. This is the third vision. Why God's people suffer, the Messianic kingdom and the final judgment. Only a few will be saved. Soul after death, which put me on the path of seeking joy, the finality of judgment, and the salvation of the few. Ezra prays for his people, the signs of the end. That was the third vision. Wow, powerful. So this was a depiction of the large amount of clay, all the people born, living, and dying that are not going to be in the next world to come, because it's only for a few. The small gold dust. The one tree out of the forest. Oh, I don't know. What do y'all think? Whoever is listening to the sound of my voice, what do you think? I mean, I'm telling you, so I have lived 62 years, and you can see that some of this stuff, once I started in like 2017, once I started waking up, I was already, and I marked these stuff. I was already on to some parts of this book, but I hadn't read the book, like Ezra's 13, 14. I marked all this, so all this is important, but I hadn't read it. I just read the passages where maybe some YouTube video had mentioned it, and I marked it. But it's nothing like reading it for yourself. And some people, and I can tell you, this book right here is hard to find, because I went to go find it for my cousin. This book I'm coloring in right now is not easy to find. I found it in a thrift store. I'm grateful for it. Something tells me to use a pencil. I don't know. I don't know. This is one of those, I'm telling you, can't unknow this stuff. You got to think, what if it's true? I'm acting like it's true. I don't want to, because it takes me back to my Church of Christ days. Only a few will be saved, and us in the Church of Christ are the ones. But this is saying, not a church. It's kind of the chosen. The reason why I think it's kind of the chosen, because what this says back here, where it says, this was interesting to me. It said, for those whom I work so hard to bring to perfection, but let my chosen people be kept safe. Those who I work so hard to bring to perfection. So it kind of feels like the Most High has chosen people, work with them, and they had to work with him, but he chose them. And all you can do is hope and pray you're amongst those chosen and keep working at it each day, because you really don't know. You don't know 100%. You don't know 100%. And when you think you probably aren't. You probably aren't. Amazing. We have finished 2nd Ezra, chapter 7, and the third vision. And this has been nothing but amazing. So until next time, it's Ridea keeping it real.